Hello everybody, welcome to the Spotter's Guide tutorial series. This is going to be a series of videos that will replace the original videos that I did for the original Spotter's Guide back in Season 1. Those started on Beta 1 of TFCraft, and so much has changed that the old videos and the old wiki are actually starting to give misinformation because it's just so outdated. So, gonna dive right in. Gonna start exactly the same way the other one does, of just showing a first night and trying not to be overwhelmed by the significant amount of changes in Terra Firma Craft. And to do that, just gonna create a world here. And I can't spell tutorial. They're changing the name a bit because I've had bad luck with the Spotter's Guide name for world creation. But gonna leave it on survival, but I wanted to show here one of the first changes is that this doesn't do anything. They're off no matter what you do. So no worries there. So we're just gonna hop into the world, build a little terrain, save a little chunks, and here we are. Looks like we have a forest, some little spires, but a plains. So, seed. There we go with the seed. So, just gonna really quickly, gonna go over top right hand corner. You'll see that there is a map. That's one of the other mods I'm using, is Raise Minimap. And if you saw at the beginning, I'll press F9 and cycle through. I'm also using Smart Moving. Aside from Terra Firma Craft, those are the only two mods. Shoosh! Those are the only two mods that I'm using. And sheep is actually a good thing, because when nighttime comes, this place gets dangerous. So, as I take out the sheep, if you look in the top right, you'll notice that my Y coordinate is 158, 157. The world for Terra Firma Craft is 256 generation. It extends all the way up, and I want to say sea level is about 145. I haven't really tracked it down between 144 and 145, but it's one of those. What is important about that is that we're very high up. The amounts... come back, sheep. The amount of creatures that can potentially spawn at night is significantly noticeable due to the flatness of the terrain, the lack of caves and such to where they start generating, is a lot of creatures spawn on the surface, making the game a bit more difficult than just your average game of Minecraft. So what we need to do is prepare for that. And what I'm going to start doing to prepare is picking up these little stones that are lying around, as that is exactly what they are. Ooh, I want your feathers, chicken. I want your feathers. There we go. Ooh, 11 feathers. So the drops from creatures has been upped a bit, as they've been altered. Just about everything has been touched in some way, and the creatures are no difference there. Breeding them takes about 6 months or so, 6 in-game months or so for them to grow up, and therefore, when you do get around to actually using them for food and such, they also produce more like they actually would. More akin to real life. You know, you don't get 2 meals out of an entire cow when you slaughter them. So, for chickens, that means that they drop a lot of feathers. So 27, that's pretty good. Just going to keep collecting these. One of the spruce trees, maybe? Is awfully bright. So, what you're seeing me do here is just knocking down the leaves of a spruce tree. And the reason is for these, is we want the sticks. They're the handles for tools. They're also how you make torches, and both of which are fairly important. They're also used for starting fires, which, as night falls, I hope to have a little bit of food gathered, and I'll get to cooking it in somewhat of a level of safety, hopefully. So the next thing that you're going to notice is when I want lumber, you can see the lines going across, but you can't cut down trees with your bare hands. That's just not going to happen. So what we need to do is take some of these little pieces of stone that we have And when you put them into the crafting table like this, it means you want to enter the rock knapping interface. So you use one stone to knock down another one. And you do that by clicking on the result here. Opens up this interface, and these are the different pieces of the stone that you can break out. And you want to break it into patterns that you'll be able to find on the wiki and such to get the tools that you want. The one that I'm looking for is an axe, and it looks like that. So there's the blade of the axe. Oh, and I just ruined it. So that's what happens when you break out too many pieces. Let's see if I can't save this into some format. I was hoping I could make a hoe, but I guess not. So don't get the stone back. That was the second one that I was using to hit the other one. You'll see it pop out right there. But this is the pattern that we want. And this time I will not click when showing it. Blade axe in the front and just the handle in the back. You just take the piece down. And you can keep doing this to make a couple of them. Axes have a unique advantage, is that they're also very good as an initial melee weapon. So, oh, I should show this. This is how you can make a javelin. This is another type of initial weapon. It's not really good for melee, but it is one of the first ranged weapons you can get. So I'm just going to put those two down there and wait for that. And that's just a stone and a stick. What I'm also going to do is put the axe head and the stick so I can get that and that. And I want to make one more thing. This is just a shovel. Trim down the sides. Then take one from the either side of the bottom there to get your shovel head. And same way of attaching the head to the handle there. I'm actually going to, oops, click a little too much apparently. So now, with our axe equipped, the tree shall be ours. And that's the second thing about trees, is you only need to chop out the bottom branch. When you do that, the rest of them will come tumbling down. It's active to wherever you chop from, so if I hit higher, it would just be from there and up. It doesn't actually go downwards. And now, so I happen to be a fan of arrows. For people who have read my posts on the suggestions guide, I've been suggesting crossbows and arrows for quite some time. Pretty much since the forums existed. And, ooh, a neat new tree up there. Nope, already got enough sheep. And, there we go. So that's more than enough feathers for quite some time. That will actually get us 400 arrows. So that's a significant amount. So up here, you're going to see one of the newer trees. I won't spend too much time on these, but this is a new unique tree to Terra Firma Craft, and these are fruit trees. Specifically, I want to say this one is a banana tree. You can tell because of the deep lines, the deep dark lines across the top, although the leaves look a little empty for a traditional banana tree. Since I really don't want to get into the fruit trees right now, but I am going to just show you real quick. If I chop down this tree like down here, I will get absolutely nothing for it. Fruit trees are not a source of lumber, they're only a source of fruit. The way you get saplings, though, is to take the little branches and chop them with an axe. You have a 50-50 chance per branch of getting a sapling. There we go. And it won't take any of the leaves down, it will leave the tree just fine. And yep, this is a banana tree. So you just wait for these to come into season. They'll start blooming, they'll grow, they'll even produce the fruit towards the end of the growing year. And that's when you can harvest them for their resources. Fruit is one source of food. It's not one of the better ones. It is pretty plentiful when you get them, but it does take a stack. They don't heal all that much, and they're not very filling. So they're not like an ideal source of food. You still, at the end of the day, will want, the cows or the pigs and such. So I'm just collecting this stuff as I go. And as we run into new trees here, this is a birch tree. You can tell because of the pattern. It also helps to tap the wood, as that this is a fairly light wood compared to the aspen, which shares a very similar trunk. But I don't think I'll be able to show you. So I think that's an oak right here. should be fairly close to its bark. Yep, that's the spruce that we found earlier. And sycamore, although I think I saw a closer one. Yeah, there we go. Sycamore is right there. Forests and regions in general that will produce trees will produce up to 4 different types of trees. There'll be 2 trees that are fairly common within the forest, and then 2 trees that are fairly uncommon. It looks like the birch and the spruce are fairly common in this one, and the sycamore here, and the oak. The oak are the uncommon ones. Although I do want to go back and grab some of that oak, because oak is one of the nicer woods to burn. Just has a nice temperature to it. So yeah. Going to chop down the leaves because I'm still in need of sticks. Used a couple of them on the tools and such, and we'll be using them more as night draws in. I do want to go find a cow or a pig here though, so I can get a more substantial amount of food than the couple of chicken breasts that I have. And smart movement there, helping me get back up the cliff. So I have a bed, or at least I have the wool for a bed. Looks like night is coming down. Here we go. And up, go away, sheep. There we go. Oh, ashwood. Wow, I would have thought that was oak. Alright, so night's coming up, and as I mentioned, the world is a bit more difficult than normal. You can already see a creeper down below here. So what I'm going to do is dig a hole. And I'm going to choose to do it here, because I want the grass up above me, so the roof won't cave in. And I'll explain exactly how that works once I'm a little safer down here. So I'm going to put back a piece of dirt right there. This will stop anything from getting into the hole, but I'll be able to poke things around. And that sheep's going to annoy me. So if I dig out this block of dirt, watch this one when I do so. And you heard the noise? Blocks that should not stay up, like dirt and such, do not stay up. Oh. But the reason that my roof is staying where it is because it's grass, and the grass gives it a little bit of form and a little bit of hold. So it can actually give me a little bit of a roof here to kind of make me safe for my first night. And I'm just going to unclaustrophobic myself. Give myself a little extra room here. And I'm expecting that sheep to crawl in here at any moment, or crawl around on the roof and collapse it in on me at any moment. So just a little bit more room. Because what I'm going to do is set up a couple of fireplaces here. And I'm going to do that right back there. So to make a fireplace, you need to get a couple of sticks, which we have right here. It takes 3 to actually start a fire, or to make a fire, but it takes 2 to make a fire starter. And you just put the sticks in a diagonal pattern, either direction will work, and that will result in a fire starter. I'm actually going to make 2 of these because I'm trying to light 2 fires, and you can tend to go through them pretty quickly. So I'm just going to put 3 into this corner, 1, 2, 3, and then, oh, nice! Right click it right there, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully I'll have the same luck again. It's probably because I made 2 of them. Nope, burned right through that one without lighting. There we go. And then you right click it to open it up. And I'm just going to get these things cooking in here while I explain the interface. So on the left hand side here we have the fuel section. This is where you put logs of wood that you want to be burned, and it'll immediately suck them down like that one for the first one. But then you can stack up a couple of pieces to keep them ready for what's going on next. In the second part of the interface, we have the temperature. This shows you how hot the fire is. And in the third place, we have where you'll put the items that you want to warm up. And you can see right now I'm cooking the raw chicken into cooked chicken. This is the main use for a fireplace. The other use will be starting to get to work with metals, and we'll get to that in a little bit. For now, though, This is just cooking up our chicken pretty fast. I'm actually going to take that out because I didn't get a chance to go get any more meat. But this will cook up our chicken pretty fast. I do like using both fireplaces because it does it does speed things up a little bit. The second thing that we're going to use the fireplaces for is torches. And the way you make a torch is you just put a stick up here. And pretty quick, catch lit, done. And we're just going to go back and forth. Nice hot fires. This will cook these up into torches in no time flat. And I'm going to leave myself with 2 sticks though, just in case. There we go. So 22 torches, not too shabby. And finally, I'm going to put an egg up there. You can no longer throw the eggs, but you can cook them. And they will turn into... Nice long drum roll here. Drum roll. There we go. A cooked egg. So, not the most filling things. I'll just give this one a quick munch. There we go. But at least it's a handy thing. It makes the chickens one of the easiest to breed and continue on because they cycle over and over and such. So you don't have to kill them. They produce food on their own, that sort of deal. But the eggs are now useless for actually. Just checking the time, and I thought it was daylight, but that's just a birch tree. You can't throw them to produce chickens like that anymore, but you can still use the wheat to produce chickens, and they'll just naturally drop eggs as they exist. So next up is going to be a crafting table, and because I want to make a bed, and that way we'll have the option of skipping the daylight, or skipping the night times back into day whenever we need to. But in order to do that, we need 3 planks of wood. And I mean 3 block planks, and you'll see what I mean by that, because this is how you can make an ash plank. And I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, and that's just a combination of the log and the axe will give you that result. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4 of these together make a normal plank for the blocks that you're used to placing. Oops, and I meant to put that in my hand. So there's my nice ash wood block. Gonna just take that back real quick. And we're gonna do this again, because for the crafting bench, we will need 4 of these. That'll get us 4 spruce. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Gets us our crafting table, just like the normal recipe. You just have to do that extra step in the middle there. And then putting down the crafting table gives us the nicer 3x3 area, where I can put down the 3 pieces of wool. Oops. Or the 3 logs, and then the 3 pieces of wool to produce our bed. And it looks like we still have plenty of night time. I'm unfortunately out of materials to cook in the fireplace, so I am just going to sleep. And luckily I heard that skeleton just kind of clip away. I guess he didn't count for being too close. There is no way to pick up your fireplace and take it with you, so we will just be leaving these here. Sounds like... Ooh, either he's hiding or he died. Almost sounds like he's hiding. Plenty of trees for him to find shade under. Yep, there he is. Ow. And right in the face. Whoa. And if you heard that crumble behind me, this is the dangers of grass roofs, is if you walk over them, you have a chance of crumbling them in, and that's exactly what happened when I ran forward there. But we are not going to stay here. I am just... That's odd. I threw 1 javelin and both javelins took damage. Is it because I'm picking up these stones? Yes, it is. Alright, we will not do that. So I'm just going to kind of keep my head down here and continue to pick up these things as we move along. I'm also going to put my axe back in the bar, because we went through quite a bit of wood last night. That was a big tree. Spruce can grow to be one of the larger sizes of tree. So that's why we had like a rainfall of spruce on our head. I just happened to have hit a large tree. And what I'm going to do is start looking for a place where we want to settle, as it's always nice to... Whoa, wolves. So a little update on some of the wildlife. Yes, they still like to dance on the loose stones there, but they'll get aggressive if you stay around them too long. That's why, you know, they kind of startled me a little bit. I don't have anything to go and tame that one with, so I'm just going to let him be and move off in this direction. So we're looking for a place to settle. I tend to like ooh, that looked like bears over there. Let's see if I can't get a closer peek on them. Yeah, there he is. They're also not immediately aggressive, but they will become aggressive if you stay around too long. And they're almost always in pairs. This one actually looks to be a set of 3 of them. So yeah, I'm going to just keep on going this way. And there's more bears. Maybe I'll go this way, towards the desert, which will have absolutely no terrain that I am interested in. Nice little hill there, but not the kind of hill I'm looking for. Got a bit of food, so I'm going to do a little bit of sprinting. Oh, that's a pretty big hill. This is actually a hills biome. It might be worth checking out, but I'm thinking this is just the edge of a forest where... Oh no, hills 10. Nice. So I'll just wrap around this side. I wouldn't mind being somewhat close to the sand. It's a good resource to have on hand. But maybe I can get up and over. Looks like there's sand on the other side as well. And this is claystone. This is actually a perfect place to show this off. Is the types of stones that you see on the surface perfectly match the stones down below them. I guess it's not perfectly at the angle that I'm at, but you guys can get the hint here, is that that is blending in pretty freaking well. So it's a good way to tell what the first layer of stone is going to be that you can find down below you. And this is where I'm going to use smart movement to kind of climb this hill a little bit better. Grab onto a ledge. Pull myself up. Ooh. Just a little divot there. So this is a mountain pass. The mountain pass is actually determined by the lowest point between 2 sloping hills. And that would be here, I guess. It does get a little bit lower down there, but it's not actually part of the pass. So you start picking up stuff like this playing Terra Firma Craft, since realism and reality is part of the inspiration for this sort of a game. I was just reading about mountain passes the other day to find out that that was one of their key features, is roadways and such are commonly built through them because of that. So, not a fan of the view of a desert. I prefer a view of water or a view of an ocean. So we're just going to keep toughing it out. Move along the hills here, and hopefully we'll find something neat. Some inspiring landscape to craft in and around. See it loading in down there. Some couple of hills. Oh, a little bit of water. Ooh. Reeds. I'm actually going to hop down as carefully as I can. And I could use smart movement, but I don't think I need to in this particular area. Paper is a fairly important thing that we'll be getting to, so, you know, stop whenever you see a couple of reeds and you're just heading to where you're going, sort of deal. I recommend stopping and picking them up. Hoo-hoo, caught it. We can plant them again wherever we end up and grow a little forest of them without too much of trouble. Looks like we have a new tree in the mix. So I'm gonna knock down these leaves, see if we can't get a sapling. I'm almost maple, silvery with orange on the inside. Thought I heard a zombie. I did hear a zombie. Alright, I will be careful where I walk then, just in case there's some hollow surface around here. So let's restore our stick supply a little bit. Used a lot of them for the torches and the fires last night. Yep, one maple sapling. Maple is actually one of the hottest burning woods in the game, so that's actually a very nice wood to have found. And I don't mind if I take another one. How are we doing on sticks? 22, that's not really that many. Sounds like the zombie noises are a little closer, so I'll watch my step a little bit more. And by watching my step, I mean I'll try and step a little bit less. As long as you stay still, the ground shouldn't collapse. It's only when you're moving or jumping and such that it should actually have that chance to do that. Alright, got a couple more saplings, 12 more sticks, and a few more pieces of lumber. And we're just going to keep right on moving here. So another thing that you need is some water to do some farming with. Since you can't actually move source blocks unless you're lucky enough to come up with a vanilla type of iron bucket, living near some sort of a small lake, river, or the like is definitely a handy thing to do. And if the mountains were closer, I'd consider this place. You know, nice views, got a nice little forest here and such. But not exactly everything I'm looking for. So, we're going to take a peek at this set of hills here. It's just nothing all that inspiring, and you may have picked up on another thing that's different about terra firma craft that takes a little bit of getting used to, is you walk through the leaves. You can't jump on them, you can't crawl on them, although smart movement can be confused a little bit for short periods of time. That can sometimes be handy to try and get that little extra lift you need to reach an edge, but it's very hard to use that in a controllable manner. Ha! The single block of water. So yeah, sea level seems to be 143, 144. Oh, bear. We'll head over this way. Ooh, squid. Squid do become important. Need their ink for recipes and such. And even a bear likes a good dance, I guess. Looks like we found quite a bit of water here. You can see their gravelly and sandy bottoms. Like in the overall evolution of... Oh, wolves. The overall evolution of the terra firma craft mod, that's a relatively new one, is the bottoms of these. And I like that outcropping. I'm just going to scoot by here. Let these guys happily bark. That is a lot of wolves. Some bears over there. This actually looks like a pretty nice place. I could put my house right here on the peninsula. Be surrounded by water. So, I believe that this has covered quite a bit for the first episode. That's pretty much shown you your first night in. I didn't get really good sources of food. I really wanted to find a cow or a pig. But I guess this will have to do for now. So, as the moon rises, I will see you guys in the next set of episodes. We're going to build a little bit of a house here. Then I'll start focusing on some of the other immediate technologies that are going to become of use to you. So I'll see you then.